Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and we are back with another episode of Glutton for Punishment. In fact, this is our very last episode of that series. This is the series finale for that hobby side series of videos that we made for the building and painting of our Ogre Kingdoms army. And the reason why is because now we have a full 3,000 point army, fully painted up and ready to go. And this video is actually kind of an important video for my studio and for my gaming group and I, and the reason why that is the case is because when I originally started this channel, I originally started the channel to just be a Warhammer Fantasy Battle channel only. My goal was about 4 years ago was to create nothing but content about Warhammer Fantasy Battle and to show battle reports and show videos about painting and constructing of our armies and how you can save money on the hobby aspect of the wargaming aspect of our channel. And so that was the original intention and the mission of the channel when I first started this out. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because this army is the last of the Warhammer Fantasy Battle armies that my channel started off with. And so this is kind of like a milestone for us. When our channel originally started, we had 9 armies in the studio's possession. We had 4 from the Forces of Order, we had 4 from the Forces of Destruction, and then of course we had the 1 army of Neutral, which is right here in the middle, which is the Ogre Kingdoms army. We had High Elves, Empire, Dwarves, as well as Wood Elves for the armies of Order. For the armies of Destruction, we had Chaos Warriors, Orcs and Goblins, Dark Elves, as well as Vampire Counts. And then for our armies that were neutral, we just had the one, which was the Ogre Kingdoms army. And now all 9 armies for our studio have been fully painted up. So it's actually really cool. It took us a long time to do it, but all the armies are now fully painted up. And I just can't wait to actually just show off those armies now when they're all the full glory. All 9 armies are 3,000 plus point armies. And so we have a nice wide variety of miniatures per army as well. And it just looks really awesome when it's all fully completed like this now. We're just super excited about getting this all done. In all, this entire army took, I would say, about 6 months of work, to be perfectly honest. There was a while there in the summertime where we actually didn't actually work on the miniatures at all. We had a lot going on in my personal life, so I wasn't able to get a lot of the painting done then. But we have just recently just finished it up now since we have the time, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. So in this series finale, we're going to talk about the last few models of our that we've added to this army as well, and talk about, of course, the design elements and the painting of that. And then we'll finish up this video series and be concluded with a Glutton for Punishment. So let's get that started. Alright, so the very first miniature we're going to start off with is right here in Stankum's Legion. You guys are familiar with the characters as well as the iron guts that make up this unit. However, right here in the back, I'm going to pull this guy out real quick so that way you guys can see him up close. This character is actually a new addition to the army, okay? This guy is our Battle Standard Bearer that we just kind of added to him to act as a unit filler. As you can see, it's kind of a combination, it's a little bit of a mixture of kind of a kit bash kind of. We have an Ogre Iron Gut body with the gut plate from a Mordheim Cavalry Rider, same thing with the head as well as the sword. And then the banner here is actually from Mordheim Cavalry as well, but instead of using a dragon skull, we replaced it with the Iron Guts little gaping tooth moth thing with the mouth full of skulls on it as well. This guys represent the Battle Standard Bearer for the unit, the Standard Bearer for the unit, to represent the fact that he's got the Dragonhide banner on it. That's why the banner is kind of like this blue color with this kind of frosted look as well. We also give him different colored pants to make him stand out a little bit differently from the rest of the characters as well. So that's actually one of the newer additions that we've added to this unit. We also have a couple more additionals as well. Over here on the left-hand side here, we have another Iron Gut. I had a spare Iron Gut. This is Dolkana the Destroyer. And this is an Iron Gut that we had left over. Just had this guy paint up real quick. And the reason why he is here is because my army, one of my viewers suggested I get some Mordheim Saber Tusks in my army. And I really didn't feel like buying some Saber Tusk miniatures just because, you know, I'm a cheapskate that way. And I did have some Iron Guts lying around, so I figure, why not paint these guys up to be my Mordheim Cav proxy? So that's still kind of this Destroyer. And over here we have Rohana, the Blood Tracker. That's another one we have. There's another spare character we had as well. I figured they both have curved swords, you know, like sabers, so that way they could be considered my little proxy Saber Tusks. My rationale for these guys is that they're ogres who are a little bit touched in the head, and because of that they no longer act like ogres. They act more like Saber Tusks when they fight, and so therefore that's the rationale behind that. And of course you guys are very familiar with our Mordheim Cavalry. These guys are the Beast Claw Raiders. We've shown these guys off before as well. We've also showed you guys the Powder Gangers, which are a unit of 8 lead belchers. So those guys we've showed off before in other showcases. We've also showed you the Anvil of Hell, which is one of our Iron Blasters, as well as Hammer of the Gods, one of our other Iron Blasters as well. Another new addition to this army is right here, this little unit of Ogre Bulls here. These guys are called the Storm Seekers, is what they're called. As you can see, it's a unit of 5 Ogre Bulls. They have hand weapons as well as iron fists. And these guys were a lot of fun to paint, very, very simple to paint as well. As you can see, the stark green color for their Warpstone weaponry, because this unit is called the Legion of the Hellmouth. It's supposed to be near the Chaos Wastes. And we're going to pull up this Battle Center barrier here so that way you guys can get a better look at the design counts that we went for these guys as well. So as you can see here, we're just the Ogre Bull color. This color we went for these guys was kind of like a Storm Gray color is what we went with. We decided to use some Skyline Blue from Folk Art to make this kind of grayish blue color for the unit. That's why they're called the Storm Seekers as well. We figured these guys would be really cool. They can look like they climb to the top of mountains to watch thunder strikes and, you know, look at weather phenomena because, you know, why not at that point? So these guys were very, very fun to paint. We have 5 of those guys that we've added to increase our unit of core for our army. And then right here we have a new character that joined up with us as well. This is Shan Yu, the Fire Fist. He is our Fire Belly. As you can see, he's got a huge gout of green flame because it looks really, really cool. We also got his Warpstone weapon as well. As you can see here, he's got like this kind of grayish, bluish color going on with his color scheme as well. A lot of Fire Bellies that I've seen on YouTube and also on other gaming channels and stuff, they have them with like a little bright red color for most of them. And, you know, that's a cool color and all, but I wanted something a little bit more subdued, I guess, because I want to make it look like he really was a lot different from his other peers. He's got this copper mask with some sky blue kind of ink wash that we made to make it look like it was rusted. So that's Shan Yu, the Fire Fist. That's another addition to our army. And the big guy over here in the back, this is Mashaf, the Sorrow of the Steppe. This is our Stonehorn proxy that we're using. So let me go and grab this guy real quick. So this huge monstrosity is our Stonehorn for our army. And this is a proxy miniature. It looks really, really cool. It's like this giant, like, earthworm looking thing. Giant monster worm creature that looks like a really good Stonehorn. I mean, it's got like an underground kind of vibe going on with some stalactites and stuff. And he's also got like a lot of stones and stuff like that and rock on its back. It looks really, really cool as well. It's a nice, huge model mounted on this massive base to represent our army Stonehorn. Now, if you're wondering what this guy is, this is actually a miniature that's made by a company called Reaper Minis. It's from their Bone line of miniatures. Their Bone series is a series of miniatures made out of 3D printer resin, and they're extremely cheap. I'm a huge fan of Reaper Minis and their Bone collection because miniatures in their Bone lines cost anywhere from between $3 to $5 a piece. They're super, super cheap. This big guy here is a monster known as Mashaf the Destroyer. And he's a great old one from the Lovecraftian, H.P. Lovecraft lore of monsters, like the Cthulhu mythos and stuff. And this monster is like a giant earthworm creature thing called Mashaf the Destroyer. And it's a huge monster. It's a pretty heavy one as well, considering it's made out of printed resin. And this guy cost me, I think, $10 at my local gaming store. I really like the dimensions that this monster represent, how big he was. And I thought he looked really cool as a Stonehorn because of all the rocks and stuff that's along its back here. And so I decided to make this my proxy for my Stonehorn because paying $10 for a big monster like this as opposed to $60 from Games Workshop just seemed like a really good economical choice. That's exactly what I did. So if you guys want to include one of these in your guys' armies as well, by all means, you can buy these at your local game stores, or you can buy it online. They're running about $10. Once again, I got this nice little storm gray color going on. This dark blue and gray color make it look like he's made out of rock with this lighter blue, storm blue color. And of course, we use apple barrel paints in order to paint this guy up. We also used our poly acrylic, a shade acrylic, to make the quick paint method for this guy. Really, really happy with the way he came out with as well. And plus, I'm really excited about the amount of money that we saved also in that. So yeah, those are the final additions to the army. Alright you guys, so that's good for this one. This finally concludes our Glutton for Punishment video series because our Ogre Kingdoms army is now fully assembled and fully painted. And it's actually kind of interesting because of all the armies that I actually have, this one has the most concentration of Games Workshop miniatures of any army that I have. Usually my armies have a good amount of mixed miniatures with proxies and miniatures from different companies. But for the most part, aside from Mashaf, the Sorrow, the Step back here, everything else is Games Workshop. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to paint, a lot of fun to put together. 6 months to put it all together, and now it's all done. So that's going to do it for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest, greatest hobby news about this channel. That's going to do it for this one, you guys. You guys stay classy. Peace out.